be clear about this. If Caitlin Clark were not in the WNBA, we would not be talking about the WNBA. She is the only ticket draw in the WNBA. A large percentage of all tickets sold in the WNBA are so people can watch Caitlin Clark play basketball. No one cares about Angel Reese. Should be drawing flies if she were playing not against Caitlin Clark on the court right now. Angel Reese has basically become the Bill Laimbeer to Caitlin Clark's Larry Bird.
Are the Indiana Fever really about to trade Caitlin Clark? Wait, actually? Because if that's even a rumor inside those locker room walls, if that's even a thought passing through the front office like a summer breeze, then we've officially entered clown show territory. Let me ask you this, how do you go from having the most talked about player in the world to maybe shopping her around like she's just another name on the depth chart? You don't, unless you've completely lost your grip on reality. Because this ain't just a player we're talking about. This isn't just your one draft pick. This is Caitlin freaking Clark, the walking headline, the WNBA's main event, the reason why half the country knows the Fever exist. And
so another day, another just weird situation, with Caitlin Clark and Indiana Fever and people around the organization. We obviously have seen the Scott Agnes article here, where he basically said that Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark brings a dark side to the Fever and her fans are like a negative on the team.
Now the internet's buzzing. Something's off. You can feel it. The vibes? Weird. Real weird. Did she play too well? Smile too much? Say the wrong thing? Score too many points? Make the wrong people jealous? Whatever it is, something's not adding up. Because the chatter about a possible trade, it's growing. And if there's any truth to it, buckle up. We're about to witness one of the dumbest front office moves of all time.
Indiana Fever posted this about Caitlin Clark to give the official what is going on with Caitlin's injury. So they said Caitlin Clark underwent further medical evaluations earlier this week, which confirmed that no additional injuries or damage was discovered. Clark will continue working with the medical team on her recovery and rehabilitation with the priority on her long-term health and well-being. There is no timetable available for her return. But I do think it's interesting that ESPN has listed August 12th as a possible return date for Caitlin Clark, but the internet noticed something specific that Holly Rowe had to say on the broadcast. Holly Rowe said that before the last return after a quad injury, she had no
time. Let's paint the picture. Say Caitlin misses a chunk of the regular season. She rehabs, returns just in time to help Indiana in the playoffs. Let's say, just for fun, the Fever make a deep run, maybe even win a championship. But because she missed games, you already know what the haters are gonna say. She didn't earn it. She wasn't there the whole time. But the real question isn't about that, it's this. What if Indiana doesn't even give her the chance? What if they panic? What if they listen to the noise and decide to move Caitlin Clark? Can you imagine?
I was a little disappointed in Sophie's take is that, she's right. It's just that she did say, and I thought this was a better explanation, she was saying that when she played in Phoenix, that she was in the locker room. And so many of the players in the locker room were saying things like, oh, we're going to show Caitlin Clark what the W is really about. And would sort of go after her. And in some ways you can understand that because she was a rookie in the league. But ultimately, when you see all this vitriol of people who cannot stand her, it's like, okay, well, what has she done wrong?
The moment that trade goes through, the Fever would go from the hottest ticket in town to a punchline. You thought Indiana traffic was rough during rush hour? Just wait till thousands of fans try to flee at once. Jersey sales? Dead. Ticket prices? Discount bin. Arena atmosphere? Echo chamber. This is bigger than basketball. This is movement-level energy. You think fans are showing up in droves because of the Fever logo? Come on. They're showing up because Caitlin Clark is a generational star. She's not just an athlete. She's a cultural moment. Every time she steps on that court, the cameras follow her like she's royalty.
She is a badass and a trash talker and gives it as good as she gets it. And she is an object of scorn for good reason. She's awesome. She's swaggery. She does turn your home crowd into a road crowd. She is a frustrating player to guard all of it. And if she is, for some of these teams, a bit of a villain, that's sweet. It only will make her better. She is already one of the 3 or 4 best players in the sport, as a lot of us thought she would be in short order.
Her shots go viral before they even hit the net. Her post-game interviews are analyzed like Oscar speeches. Trade her? You're not just losing a player. You're losing your entire identity. Let's talk numbers. Since she entered the league, attendance has skyrocketed. Merch has exploded. Ratings are up. Sponsors are throwing money at the WNBA like it's a bidding war. The Fever used to pull 4,000 fans. Now, 17,000. And it's not because of improved pick and rolls or better defense. It's because Caitlin Clark exists. You don't trade that. You build around that. You build empires around that. And what's crazy is we've seen this play out in real time. The second her injury news dropped, Ticket prices for the Fever versus Sky game tanked, went from $86 to $25 overnight. Why? Because she wasn't playing.
He literally said, and he was like, there are some people that are not here for basketball, not here for the Fever, but are only here for Caitlin Clark. It's like, if you're a fan of a player and you're here for the basketball and you're there watching games and everything, you're a fan of a player playing basketball. I don't see there's an issue with that. And according to his thing, to him, he was talking about how it was such a struggle for the team, and obviously someone who has access to the team.
Not because Angel Reese wasn't, not because Aaliyah Boston wasn't, not because the matchup was weak. It was all about Clark. Look, you can argue all day about whether that's fair to the rest of the league, about whether it's right for one rookie to have this much power. But here's the truth. She didn't ask for this. She didn't manufacture the hype. She didn't beg for the spotlight. She just played her game, and the world followed. So when people like Sophie Cunningham talk about players wanting to humble her or show her what the W is really about, all I hear is envy dressed up as gatekeeping. Yeah, she talks trash. Yeah, she's confident. But she backs it all up. She's not just out here dropping 30 like it's nothing. She's making the entire league relevant in the process. You think that kind of impact grows on trees? You think you can just draft another Caitlyn next season? You don't replace a movement. You don't trade a revolution. Let's be real for a second. If the Fever do this, if they trade her, they're not just making a bad call. They're making the worst call in franchise history, and maybe even league history. You don't just lose fans, you lose momentum, you lose sponsorships, you lose cultural relevance. Caitlin Clark could join the worst team in the league and turn them into must-watch TV overnight. Put her in a jersey for a franchise that won 3 games in the last 5 years, and suddenly you've got ticket resellers hiking prices like it's Coachella. Meanwhile, Indiana would be left talking about grit, hustle, and culture while the seats slowly start emptying. Cute. And no offense to the rest of the Fever, but let's keep it honest. No one's showing up just to see a team effort. They're not buying League Pass subscriptions for team ball movement. They came for the star. She's not just a player, she's the event. She makes Tuesday night games feel like the finals. She turns casual fans into super fans. You remove her from the equation, you don't just lose buzz. You lose your entire formula, and don't even get me started on the maybe it's best for both sides narrative. Best for who? The PR department scrambling to explain why they traded their only meal ticket? The merch guy now stuck printing "Together we rebuild" hoodies? There is no trade package worth this kind of chaos. There is no fair return for a player who is the reason the league is having its best year in a decade. This ain't just about the court. It's about TV deals, revenue, national attention. She alone accounted for nearly 45% of all WNBA media value last season. Read that again. One player. Half the league's exposure. Merch up 500%. Her jersey, bestseller by a landslide. Corporate sponsors, lining up like it's Amazon Prime Day. You trade that? You're not just doing bad business. You're setting fire to your own foundation. Let me say it clear for the people in the back. You don't trade the sun and expect the planet to keep orbiting. You don't trade Caitlin Clark and expect the stands to stay full, the cameras to keep rolling, and the dollars to keep pouring in. She is the momentum. She's not the needle. She is the whole damn compass. And look, I get it. There are other great players in the W. There always have been. But Caitlin didn't take away their shine. She added to it. She brought new eyes, new fans, new energy. So, yeah, maybe it's not fair that she's the face of the league this fast, but it's not her fault. She's just playing her game. It just so happens that her game changed everything. At the end of the day, the Fever are holding something bigger than a top pick. They're holding the heartbeat of the league. And if they trade that away, they're not just giving up a player. They're giving up a dynasty before it even starts. They're choosing dust over gold. And they better pray they can live with that decision, because the rest of the world sure won't forget it.